probably wondering why I'm sitting here on the steps of the plane. It would be because we got diverted. We don't have anywhere else to go. I was supposed to be on a turn from Dallas to Colorado. On the way back to Dallas, we got diverted. They don't know where to put us, and our pilots just timed out. So we're just here. They don't know what to do with us. We're just waiting to hear what we're supposed to do next. I'll keep you guys informed. Okay, y'all. We have been locked in a room for over 5 hours in Killeen, Texas. We are now on the tarmac waiting on another plane to come in so that we can take these passengers who are upstairs to Dallas finally. They've been trying to get to Dallas all day. We've been stuck with them. We got diverted here to Killeen. Yeah, so it's just been a day. So this is what our situation is looking like right now. This is our rescue plane. Our rescue plane is coming. We're so happy to see them. Thank you. Yay, over here. We're so excited to see them. Oh my God. This is the best thing ever. Yay! Hi guys! Hey. Look at our rescue plane. Hey! Yes! I know, right? Oh, thank the Lord. They sent somebody to rescue us. Oh my God. They're gonna pull right over here to this gate. Oh look, yeah. Okay, so we out there like this.
So I'm like telling him you cannot go the other way, so you have to go in, and that guy goes the opposite. You have to go and she has to go.
Good morning, it's your girl Keisha. Today is the 22nd of June. I have to do a little story time to close out this video. So yesterday I was supposed to be on an airport ready sit, meaning that I was on call at the airport, had to be in uniform, be at the airport by 6 a.m. My shift started at 6. I was on regular reserve starting at 5 a.m. in the morning, meaning I was on call since 5, but starting at 6 I had to actually be at the airport and stay on call. I was supposed to get off at 4 yesterday. So what happened was, as soon as my ready shift started at 6 a.m., a little bit before like 5:30, they called me. I was already at the airport because you know I'm an early bird, so I went in early. So they called me and told me that I was going to do a turn, which means fly from Dallas to a place and back to Dallas. I was going to do a turn to Montrose, Colorado. Cool, never been there. I was excited. So the turn was supposed to depart at like 8:30. So my show time was like 8:02. So I get ready. I'm there at the airport and I get ready. I go down to the gate. Everything's great. Meet the crew. We fly to Montrose. Okay. When we leave Montrose, the captain briefed us saying that there's possible bad weather in Dallas and we have an alternate route in case of weather is to divert to Killeen. So we're like, okay. And so we were like, okay, but whatever. Probably won't happen. It happened. So we divert to Killeen. We land in Killeen, open the main cabin door. There's no jet bridge. So I'm a little bit confused because the captain didn't tell us anything. We sit there for between 35 and 40 minutes before ground crew comes on the plane And they're like, we were the whole time asking the captain, hey, what's going on? He was like, I don't know. They're not telling me anything. We're like, that's weird. Why are we just sitting here? Nobody's telling us anything. So then the ground crew person comes onto the plane and they're like, where's your captain? You know, we're like, oh, he's in here. You can come in. They're like, hey, we've been calling you for the last like 30, 35, 40 minutes. You know, are you guys on the right channel? The captain was like, oh, what channel is it? So they told him the channel. He turns on the channel, and being just like that, we got communication. So then they don't know what to do with us. Now another plane diverted with us. There was another plane right beside us. It diverted, and they just took right back off. You know, they sat for a minute, kind of waited out, and then they were cleared to go on. So they left. You know, they didn't stay there. So now they don't know what to do with us. So the ground crew is like, are you guys just gonna get fuel and go on? Or, you know, what is the case? The captain's all like, I'm timing out. I'm like, what? He was like, I'm timing out. I can't fly the plane. So they're like, well, you know, the air traffic control is not telling us that you're timing out, so we don't have that information. So it becomes this whole debacle, and we end up getting allowed to go into the airport. But mind you, this is a specific airport that is half military, half civilian. So we were on the side that we landed on. There was no TSA, which means that all they could do was put us into a holding room with our 61 passengers. The holding room had no water, no food. All they could do was use the bathroom, right? So we were there we landed like 2:30. We didn't get rescued. A plane to rescue us, pilots to come get us and fly us back to Dallas until 8:20 we departed. In that time, the airport management, ground manager, whoever he was able to wrangle up a box of potato chips and some 20-ounce bottles of Aquafina water. Everybody got a bag of chips and a bottle of water. Mind you, this whole time, the captain is only concerned about himself. He is like trying to call crew scheduling and convince them that he's timing out for whatever reasons that he had, not just the time, but he was like looking for other little loophole ways that he could time out, from what we understand, because we kept asking him like, well, they're saying you're not timing out, because I called crew scheduler too, and they told me they didn't have that information that he was timing out, that they would figure out what was going on and call me back. So did the other flight attendant. Everybody's getting the same message, and he's like, well, there's multiple ways you could time out. We're like, okay, but it's literally a 25-minute flight from Killeen to Dallas. We spent 5-6 hours or whatever there deciding whether he could fly for 20 or 25 minutes with 61 passengers. So meanwhile, me and the other flight attendant are trying to work with these passengers to help keep them calm. Of course, they're frustrated, they're hungry, they're hangry. Like, okay, so we doing the best that we can to negotiate with them about certain stuff they needed off the plane, out of their baggage. At first they was telling us we couldn't touch none in baggage. One lady, she needed her baby stroller, so we was up there negotiating with them, with the, you know, ground crew, like, hey, could she just get a stroller? She really needs to put this baby in the car seat, you know, just all kind of stuff. We're doing the best we can. Now, I will say these had to be the best group of passengers that we could have ever been with for something to happen like this, because they really hung in there and they really didn't freak out on us, and they didn't like get real nasty with us stuff, and they actually appreciated everything that we were doing for them. Mind you, that was the ground crew there, myself, and the other flight attendant, because the captain and the first officer wasn't saying nothing to nobody. They was over in the corner doing their own thing. They weren't even talking to each other. So it was just a really, really weird situation. So at the end of the day, the company sent 2 pilots in what's called a ferry flight, so an empty flight, another plane to come and get all of us. But by this time, several of the passengers had elected to just abandon their checked baggage and come get it, from at a later time from their final destination and just drive to where they were going. So they released some of them. They couldn't come back in. If you did go out, you couldn't come back in to get on the plane. So they just rented cars. One guy took an Uber for like $100. Yeah, it was just insane. But we finally got the passengers back onto the new plane. And literally 25 minutes later, we landed in Dallas, which now is about 9:30. Remember I said I was supposed to get off at 4 p.m. It's now like 9:30 at night. But the passengers were thanking us, and they were like, you guys had a great attitude. Thank you so much. You were so helpful. We hope you guys get some rest. You're the best flight attendants I ever had. So, I mean, that kind of made us feel good. The way that it's set up, though, is really weird because since we landed in that diversion, when we opened that main cabin door, we stopped getting flight pay when that door opened. So all that time we sat in Killeen helping those people, we were technically not getting paid. We were making per diem, but we weren't getting flight pay because we weren't in flight. So that's the tough part. It makes you kind of feel like you're working for free, right? That was a lot of time, and it was work. It was hard work trying to keep all those passengers passive and happy, and keep them from getting upset, keep them from stressing out the gate agents who had no control over us being there, and we're just trying to do the best they can. It's an outstation, so we don't have all our resources there. It just was a difficult day. Once I got home, or back to Dallas at 9:30, crew scheduling finally called me. And they're like, hey, how are you doing? I'm like, well, it's been a long day. And she looks at it, she was like, yeah, I was looking at your schedule and I could tell that it has been a long day. I'm so sorry. She was like, but I'm not calling you with anything crazy. Just letting you know you have ready tomorrow starting at 12. So I'm airport sit again today, starting at noon until like 9 o'clock tonight. So I'm on my way there now. But yeah, that's how yesterday went. So that was one of the toughest days I've had since I started. And I hope that there will be far less of those days and far more of the fun days where I get a nice hotel room, a nice location to stay overnight. Because yesterday was for the birds, like for real. I don't want to do that again no time soon, but we made it. We made it through, so. Anyway, until next time.